Welcome to Insight Builder channel. Large language model automators, prompt engineers, and Python experts. Demystifying agents and tools inside Langchain library. Steps to build custom agent and tools is what we are going to look at in this presentation. If you are new to Langchain library and the large language model ecosystem, I would suggest that take a look at the Learn About AI Language Model Reinforcement playlist in my YouTube channel. You will get up to speed in no time. Let us dive into the first step of building our custom agent. If you have come across the earlier videos, you would have seen that there are 4 different agents: ZEROSHOT React agent, chat ZEROSHOT React description, and we have React doc store, and also we have related agents in the Langchain already. But what we are going to do in this video is to create agents that are customized for your requirement. Before we actually create custom agents, we need to know what is there inside the agent. Inside the agent, we need to have tools. There should be a prefix and a suffix. This is actually a prompt prefix and prompt suffix, and this prompt should have input variables. So we will see these input variables in action inside the example in a couple of minutes. In order to create a custom agent right now, the best option available is ZEROSHOT class inside the Langchain module. You will see that agents are basically prompt templates. So prompt templates along with the tools becomes the agents. We have to create a LLM chain, and then we have to create a ZEROSHOT agent on the LLM chain, and then create an agent executor class. All these steps you have to follow. You will see that in action inside the Google Colab notebook in no time. Next, what we need to do is we need to take the steps to build the tools. Okay, we saw the agents, right? We know how to customize the agent, but actually if you can customize the tools, then you can even more customize your agents. Right? It is actually it works together. In fact, even in Langchain documentation, if you see, both of these options are kept next to each other. Like first you will see customizing agent, and then you will see customizing tool. So it's actually linked together very closely. Agents are for prompts, while tools are for Python functions. This idea that agents are for prompts and the tools are Python functions will change the way how you interact not only with large language models and Langchain library, but with the entire ecosystem coming in the future. See, understand this very clearly. The large language models that we are going to use inside the agent is going to call the functions that is inside the tools. I will repeat again. The large language models that we are going to use inside the agent is going to call the functions that is inside the tools. This is what actually makes all the magic that we see possible. Okay, and for this only the Langchain developers are working so hard to bring all these things together, for making the agents, the tools to talk with each other and to create prompt templates, and then making all these 3 agents, tools, prompt templates to work with the LLMs. So this is how the entire ecosystem is. So once you understand this overview, then you can easily work with the tools and agents. Tools will have name, description. Description is what the LLM will look at, the function which is going to get called, and return _direct. This you don't need to worry right now. So the tools can be either created as Python classes or it can be created as Python functions. Both of this will be seen in a couple of minutes. Head to the Google Colab notebook. So this is the place where you will find the Google Colab, you will find the Jupyter notebook. Okay, if you are totally new to Jupyter environment and etc., so take a look at this series of videos available. You will get a lot of details about Python and Jupyter environment from my playlist. So take a look at that. Now we will go to Google Colab environment. Okay. So if we go to the collab environment, we are going to go to the top. This already I have imported the Jupyter notebook from the GitHub repo. So this is the repo that I was showing you just a moment back. So I've already imported it. I'm going to close it now, and I will close this also. And then let me start working on this particular notebook. So you see that initially I will be pulling in all these libraries. So you have to just do a pip install, don't worry about that, continue with that. And then do this particular cell you don't need to execute. This is created for safeguarding my API keys. In this location, you can remove these values and put your API keys directly. Hugging Face, SERP API, and OpenAI API key. Okay, I hope that by now you will know how to get these API keys tokens without an issue. If you are still having challenges, take a look at my earlier videos. We are going to initially work with Hugging Face API keys and also some of the models there. I just want to show you guys that there are other large language models also. So I'm using a simple prompt template with a question and two things step by step, and that is how I'm creating the Hugging Face of the repo ID. And the repo I'm going to use is Google's Plan T5 XL, and also I'm going to test it with Declare Labs Plan Alpaca XL. I'm just comparing it, and you'll see that the Plan T5 is telling there are 4 billion stars, 4.5 billion stars in Milky Way galaxy, while Alpaca is telling there is only Alpaca is actually telling there are only 200 stars in this galaxy. Okay, so you see there is a vast amount of difference from what Plan T5 and Alpaca is telling. So how to understand which model is perfect? How to make this inference? So you have to go to the Hugging Face hub and take a look at the model card. I'll be taking a full-blown video on this, but I felt that it is required that we understand what is going on, not only in OpenAI, but also in the overall ecosystem altogether. Okay, that is why I wanted to introduce this again in this video also. So thanks for your time for listening to this part. Now we are going to start working on the actual agents and then tools. Before we start working on agents and tools, we will first of all use a already existing tool. Two tools we will be using, search function tool and LLMCHAIN or LLM math tool. Both are available inside Langchain. I am not going to write any functions, it is already there. And I am also going to import base tool from tools. This will be required. And I am going to create. So I told you, right? The tools will need to have name, it should need to have a function, it needs to have description. And description is what the large language model will see. Okay? And then that is how we have created the first tool chain. This is a tool chain. And then we initialize the agent using initialize agent function that we are already importing, and we are going to use ZEROSHOT React description agent. So if you are this is a straightforward activity that we are doing. We are not doing any modification here. Okay, note the point, we are not doing any modification. This is just for a reference. I have initialized the tools with search and calculator using LLMCHAIN, and then I am going to ask, okay, how many numbers of stars are there in the galaxy? And you see that the calculator function itself is not used. So only the Google search action is taking place here. You see this Google search action, the name, that is actually coming from the tool chain. And you see that the question does not ask for calculation. So it comes back with 100,000 million galaxy. Okay, this is very different from whatever Alpaca and Tflan gave. You see the comparison, right? And now we are going to ask an additional question. I am saying, okay, divide the number of stars, the number with movie stars on Earth. So you will see that what has actually happened. So the same search happens, and then actually the next step, one more Google search happens, and then it goes and finds the stars on Earth movie. Okay, and then it actually divides. So here it's not calling the calculator function, but internally it is actually doing it. So when you are asking to divide, it is actually calling the calculator function and doing it, and it is replying to you. But here it's not shown. Okay, all this output is coming because I have given verbose as true. That is why you are getting all this output. And instead of movie stars, what I am doing, I am actually changing in the next run. I am changing it as movie actors. And this time you will see that again it is searching, it is finding a different search result, and it is giving an answer as 8.3 billion. Just by changing the stars to actors, you saw how much variation the value came. All this is happening because how we create the prompt and how the data is available inside the LLM. All these things are linked here. It is not just about how you are writing the function, how you are writing the prompt. There are other things also involved. You need to make it more specific also. This is something I am giving it for example. Okay, we are going to go into the actual step right now. So we are going to use custom tools. Till now, we have just explored how is the Langchain interfacing with OpenAI library with the existing tools. Okay, these are all existing tools. Now, first and foremost, we are going to create a tool from the function. This is a Python function. We are going to count the length of the query, the string that is going to come into the function. We are going to count it, and I have used the decorator here called at tool. So I am importing it from agents import tool, and I am using calculator as the name of the tool here. And once I do that, you see, if I do a print of that object, this particular function object, you see that it is actually a tool object basically. And I can use query.run and get the length. So this is a trial. So you see that this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 5. So 13 characters are there inside the query. This is a trial. And you see that our function is working, but instead of actually giving it like this, usually if it is a normal regular function, you will actually do it like this. But this is actually a tool. So we are using the run method. This run method is what we are going to use it here. Okay, this is how you create custom tools. Okay, this is the reason why I started with custom tools is that once you can understand how to customize tool, customizing agent is one step above that. Okay, that is why I am going in this route. Okay, so just bear with me and continue this. Let me continue with this flow. And you will see I am using Google search and counter, and here I am clearly telling that whenever there is a need for counting the query length, then use this tool. This is what this description says. Now I am going to initialize the agent. There is not much of a difference between the earlier one and now. The only thing is I have a new tool now, and I am asking how many movies are being directed till date. It gives an answer to me. Okay, this is, and you see that this particular function or this particular tool itself is not used because there is no requirement of that tool. There is no need for counting the length anywhere here. The same question I am actually asking, use the counter and get the length of this prompt. Okay, once I do this query, you will see that it initially starts by counting, but it doesn't count the entire query. For us, this is the entire query, but for the large language model, only this is the query. Okay, because how we have framed the question. So this is what I was telling. So you see here the action input, this prompt. So only this part of the entire query is considered as the prompt. So this is a very important point I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, when you are going to create your functions, and then when you are going to write, when you are going to use it in the chain, in the agent chain, ensure that you know what is going on. Okay, so that is true. That is one way of actually initiating the tools and using it in the chain. Agent tool chain and then using it in the agent. There is another way where we use custom calculator tool. We will be using the LLMCHAIN only, but we are going to create it as a class. So you see that the class is like this, and instead of the function you are using the class here. Okay, and also you see that I am going to use counter, I am going to use Google search, and I am going to use the custom calculator also. I am going to use all the three in tools set 3. You see tool set 3 is tools _03. So take note of the variable, and I am going to use the ZEROSHOT React agent. Till now we are working only on tools customization, we have not started working on agent customization. It will come later. So in another 5 minutes, we will start working on that. I am initializing the agent, and then here I am asking, so how many movies have been directed, what is the length of the prompt, and then multiply both the results. So I am asking all these questions. So it starts by counting, so length of this prompt. So all this is considered as the query. It is saying 21, and it is saying it has to multiply with the number of movies directed. Okay, so it goes to the Google search, it actually finds the number of movies directed, and then it does multiplication. So here there is a mistake that is happening. I have to still do more research. Why is the mistake happening? Because it is not actually multiplying anything with 21. Okay, the answer does not actually get divided by 21 directly. So I don't know how it came with the number, but still the actual process was completed. So it used all the tools that were provided. Okay, that is on the tools customization. Now we are going to go into agent customization. In order to customize the agent, we need to have a prefix, we need to have a suffix, we need to have the prompt created by the prefix, suffix, and the input variables. Okay, before I actually proceed further, please go back and review this tools creation again. I would really urge you to do that, and then practice it in the Google Colab notebook itself. Try to change the variables, or type it again in a separate Colab notebook, and then practice it, and then come back, because it is required, or else you will be getting confused. Now I am going to again start with ZEROSHOT agent. Prefix and suffix is already given. Take a note here. Speaking as a 10-year-old child might speak. So in the prefix I am telling, okay, you have to answer the question, but you have to speak as if you are a 10-year-old. And in suffix, and also I am telling in the prefix that you have access to following tools. So I am giving all this in the prefix. In the suffix I am telling, okay, you need the answer, but answer should be in words, and you should speak like a 10-year-old child. This is how I am creating, and this is the question with the inputs, input and scratchpad. By using ZEROSHOT agent, this is the class. It has a method called create prompt. I'm using all this. So I have the tools that I created at the top. So if you go to the top, you will see that I have created the tools. Just a minute. So I have created the tools at the top. Yeah, this one. I'm going to use that. I am not going to. This is a standard tools that I am going to create. I am not using any of the custom tools. Okay, that is why I am actually showing you this. I am coming down right now, and if I start with the ZEROSHOT agent, I am using the prefix and suffix, and once I create the input variable, you will see the template here. This particular template has got the prefix. This is the prefix. This is the tools, and this is the question, thought, answer sequence. And once the sequence starts, we are also instructing that you should speak as a 10-year-old. All these things are given inside the prompt template itself. Next, create the chain. First is you have to create the chain. Okay. Next, you have to create the ZEROSHOT agent using the chain and using the tools. This is the next step. So you have to create the chain, you have to create the ZEROSHOT agent. This is the ZEROSHOT agent that you are creating. You can actually check the prompt by using this method. And then you have to create the agent executor. You saw that chain, agent, and then agent executor. The agent executor is where you will be asking the query. And once you ask the query, you will see that it goes through the Google search, and you see that it talks as if it is a kid, and it actually repeats a lot of things, like how kids repeat, right? And it says that's a lot of stars. But if you see in the earlier places, you did not get any of those kinds of surprise and awe and all the stuff. So it was a plain English in the past, but now it is speaking as if it is a small kid. This is the overall picture that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, I hope that you understand what is going on in agent as well as in tools. With this understanding, you will have a better picture about the existing agents also and the existing tools more clearly, how it is being written. So take a look at the agents and tools in the new light. what we have found with this particular video, and start practicing with the Google Colab notebook. Try to come up with some interesting Python functions and send it to the LLM and try to use the LLM on those functions and see how the output comes. Share it with me, okay, and share it with others also. This is very important. The most important point is that share this knowledge with others, and also leave a like in the video and subscribe to my channel so that further updates on the videos will be coming directly to your YouTube dashboard. Most important thing is, next video I will be working on creating the large language model, one of the large language model, and then hosting it as an API. From the fast API library. So stay tuned for that video. So do subscribe, and without further ado, start practicing. The more you practice, faster you will understand Langchain library and large language models. With this, guys, I would like to take a leave. Till then, practice. Have a great time.